Imagine standing on one of the highest peaks in the world, surrounded by biting wind and blinding snow. In 1999, high on Argentina, Mount Jujajaco. That's exactly where a team of archaeologists found themselves. Digging through the ice nearly 22,000 feet above sea level, they uncovered something unimaginable. Not just artifacts, not just ruins, but 3 Inca children, frozen in time. Their bodies were so perfectly preserved, it was as if they had just fallen asleep. They would become known to the world as the children of the sun. Looking at them, you can see the peaceful expressions on their faces, the intricate patterns on their clothes, the delicate braids in their hair. It's almost impossible to believe that 500 years have passed since they took their last breath. Scientists even discovered what they ate for their last meal: corn and dried llama meat, still preserved inside them. For half a millennium, time had stood still on that desolate peak. The Andes Mountains, once a pathway to the gods, had become their silent, frozen tomb, holding a secret that was about to change our understanding of the Inca world forever. So why were they there? Why would children be brought to such a remote and unforgiving place? To the Inca, this was no ordinary mountain. The great peaks of the Andes were alive. They were powerful deities, known as Apus, sacred beings who controlled the weather, protected the people, and held the world in balance. When the empire faced a crisis, a devastating drought, a famine, or the threat of war, the Inca knew they had to make a profound offering to appease the Apus and restore cosmic harmony. This offering was a solemn ceremony called the Capacocha. The empire would select its most beautiful and pure children, not as victims, but as honored messengers to the gods. For their families, this was the highest honor imaginable. Their child was chosen to become a guardian of their people, to live forever among the deities. There was no violence, no fear. The children were given chicha, a fermented corn beer, and coca leaves to chew. These sacred plants would calm them, easing them into a deep, peaceful sleep as they made their final ascent into the heavens, becoming a permanent link between the human world and the divine. Picture the journey. It was a procession that stretched for weeks, even months. Priests, dressed in their finest ceremonial attire, led the chosen children and their families across the vast Inca Empire. Heading towards the towering peaks of the Andes, they walked through arid deserts, lush valleys, and finally up into the thin, cold air of the mountains. They carried with them a treasure trove of offerings fit for the gods: miniature gold and silver llamas, exquisite textiles woven with cosmic symbols, and colorful feathered headdresses. This wasn't just a sacrifice. It was a delivery of the very best of their world to the realm of the Apus. When they reached the summit, exhausted but resolute, they built small stone enclosures, shrines against the endless sky. Inside, they placed the precious offerings. Then, with great reverence, they gently laid the children to rest. They were always positioned facing Cusco, the sacred capital, the navel of the Inca universe. There, in their icy chambers, they were left to begin their eternal watch over the empire. 5 centuries later, the mountain decided it was time to share its secret. And these children of the sun were revealed to the world once more, their silent story waiting to be told. The discovery was a scientific miracle. Modern technology, like CT scans, has allowed us to look inside these ancient bodies without disturbing them. What we've found is astounding. Their organs are perfectly intact. Their hearts, their lungs, even their blood is still present in their veins. The cells still hold their DNA, so well preserved that scientists have been able to trace their genetic lineage, connecting them to indigenous communities still living in Peru and Bolivia today. For science, They are a priceless time capsule, a window into the health, diet, and genetics of the Inca Empire. But for many, this is not a scientific specimen. It's a sacred story. To the descendants of the Inca, these are not mummies. They are revered ancestors, guardians, who were never meant to be disturbed. Their rest has been broken, their spiritual purpose interrupted. Every year, local Andean communities continue their traditions. They make pilgrimages to the base of Mount Lulaloco, leaving offerings of flowers, coca leaves, and prayers. They speak to the children, asking them to continue their watch, to keep protecting the living from their perch between earth and sky. It's a powerful reminder that the past is never truly past. Today, the children of the sun rest not in ice, but in precisely controlled chambers at a museum in Argentina. Shielded from the very time that once preserved them, they exist at a crossroads, a bridge between modern science and ancient faith. Between the world of the living and the realm of the dead, between a forgotten past and a complex present. Their serene faces challenge us to look beyond the idea of a brutal sacrifice and see what the Inca saw. A profound act of cosmic reciprocity, a way to maintain harmony in the universe. They believed that by giving their most precious gift, life for all would be renewed. And high in the Andes, where the wind howls and the snow never melts, you can almost feel that belief lingering in the air. The wind still whispers their names. As the sun sets over Mount Lulaloco, casting long shadows across the snow, it illuminates a story of faith, honor, and eternity, a story too beautiful and too powerful to ever forget. If you enjoy exploring the hidden side of history, subscribe to ChronoSecrets on YouTube and follow us on Facebook for more forgotten worlds brought back to light. The past is full of secrets and we're only just beginning to uncover them.